The edtech sector has certainly seen a huge pivot in the year 2020, massive growth in terms of users, funding and scale. One such company is Leverage Edu, which provides students on its Enroll platform everything from counseling to admission, helping students with their education loans as well as accommodation. Joining in right now is Akshay Chaturvedi, the founder of the company. Akshay, what a year it's been. Everyone's had to really pivot, re-strategize and rethink the way they operate their business. But for EdTech in particular, it's a huge advantage due to the COVID crisis. Walk us through what it's been like for your company in terms of your users as well as your scale.
No, I think COVID has absolutely been an year of multiple downs and ups. I think for EdTech in particular, or for I can't particularly say that we are EdTech or migration tech or travel tech because we do all of those things put together. But I think the year has given great tailwinds. We are in a business of having students apply for colleges using our platform, and I think both universities and students have realized that they need to leap into the technology. And I think that really meant starting February and March, students who were not comfortable with making huge ARPU purchases online were doing that up to 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees. Universities which were easily thinking about, hey, can I go out and recruit mismatched talent offline or should I do it online now? I think that completely got accelerated, and that meant that our revenue moved by about 4x pre-COVID and post-COVID in terms of our top line. So I think it's been a fantastic year, and I think that's what has led us to where we are right now.
Okay, that sounds very encouraging. And you've got a formidable set of investors: DSG Consumer, Bloom, Sama Capital, to name some of them. Just walk us through what the total funds that you've raised so far are, and has there been any recent fundraising exercise? What's the plan on that front?
So just a correction there, Sama Capital is not an investor in our business. Ash Lilani in his individual capacity is an investor. We have raised 47 crores in our Series A, primarily led by Tomorrow Capital, which is a Bombay-based fund, built up completely by operators of the highest order, and Bloom Ventures and DSG Consumer Partners, who have continued to kind of remain bullish, have invested in this round as well. And that takes our total capital raised to about 60 crores plus. So yeah, really excited to be kind of partnering with new folks, kind of really excited about the belief that our existing investors have shown in us. And this will really give us the fuel to do a lot of crazy things that we want to do over the coming 1 to 2 years. So it's a really exciting time to be building for this category, and we are really, I think, excited and pumped up that we have the fuel to do the things that we wanted to do.
You spoke of the huge leverage that you got due to COVID, how revenues grew 4x. So take us through the numbers then. You offer a lot of different services. So what kind of numbers have you seen? What's the kind of traction that you've witnessed? What's the total subscriber base or the number of students that have visited the platform?
Sure, Avan. So I'll give you some key numbers. We are right now helping about 500 students every single month.
Okay.
That has grown by about 3 to 4 times same time last year. And so our business model primarily, while you spoke about a bunch of things, but we are primarily focused on just helping students with college admissions, and that's about it. Be it a college admission for a more nuanced program like culinary arts or music or fashion or journalism or nutrition or sports management or whatnot, to more traditional programs like data science, business, finance, all of that. We primarily make money from both the sides, from student as well as another category. We make money from universities who partner with us to find best match students for the different programs. And right now the revenue share between both the categories is about 50-50. And as we move forward, what we are finding is that students are finding us from very remote parts of this country, right? Like Gurdaspur in Punjab and Surat, Vijayawada, Ernakulam. In fact, right now I'm taking this call from a place called Gadganga Mukteshwar. I'm on a business trip of sorts, and I'm kind of meeting some of our mom and pop entrepreneurs that we enable. So it's a very exciting space to be building for. It's a category where people have the ability and people essentially get a chance to completely re-level their life and completely transform their family's life, because they're looking at upgrading their life in some sense and their family's life. So yeah, that's where we are today, and this round will really help us go very deep into this country and be able to help hopefully 10,000 students over the next 12 to 18 months, every single month.
Okay, that sounds very encouraging. And Akshay, but while you are doing what you're doing right now, there is a lot of competition as well within the space. It's grown, it's accelerated quite significantly. Is there anything that makes Leverage Edu stand out vis-a-vis some of the peers? What are you doing in order to retain market share or garner more students?
Sure. So one, I have a different lens to it. I think we don't compete with your usual edtech players. We're not in the test prep business. We're not in the business of helping people do better at school or college. We're in fact in the business of helping them move towards the employability lens of their career, like I said before. And the folks that we are competing with largely are either the traditional guys who have been in the business for the last 20, 25 years, and or we are competing with folks who are really fragmented. Our approach was that we don't compete with them, we essentially make them our partners. So today, Leverage Edu also acquires students by partnering with over 500 plus of these small mom and pop entrepreneurs from the entire breadth of this country, from across some 42 cities. And like that's what I'm doing right now as well. So the idea is that how can you create win-win in a space which is as massive as edtech is. I don't see there's a need to create a monopoly or there's a need to essentially think about competition. It's a very big space. The idea is to be missionary and be able to help students and be able to solve problems for the students. And over the next many years, I think win-win approaches will work in a fairly more significant manner.
What's the revenue run rate right now? What is it that you're clocking in? How much do you make per student on average, as well as from the university?
Sure. So, Aman, in particular, we make about 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees from every single student who enrolls onto the platform. And we are right now doing about 2.5 to 3 crores a month in revenue at the moment, as of the last month.
Okay, fine. That's the overall revenue run rate.
Yes.
And just give us a sense as to how COVID has really changed the way students are now looking at higher education overseas, back home. Has there been a huge change in mindset or trends that you've observed?
Sure. So I think two trends that I would like to speak about are, I think one is that post-COVID, the world has been divided into these green zones and red zones, right? Green zones are countries where the leaders have demonstrated great capability in managing this crisis. So countries like Germany, France, countries like New Zealand. In fact, you won't believe that the Indian aviation authorities for the first time in the history of this country are figuring out how to get direct flights to Auckland. Such is the amount of craze that Indian students have right now to go to New Zealand, given we have a great prime minister there. So I think the world is moving towards the phase where people realize that liberal arts is going to be really important. People realize that it's very important for me to be pursuing a career which is right for me. For example, if my talent is in culinary arts or music or fashion, I need to go to a country where there will be massive respect for the talent, or where there will be maximum opportunities to make out of talent. So I think that is something that we enable at a very core level. And at the same time, it's very important that you marry your destiny to a place where you'll be able to do really well for yourself and your family. So I think given where we are right now from macro perspective, a lot of things happening in the US as well, I think it's a great time for the Indian student to look at having a global career and being a global, I would say, global employee, having like talent mobility, which really makes them be able to pursue their career in a far more fierce fashion than before.
Okay, and what's the vision for the company going forward? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
That's a very interesting one. If you ask me over 5 years, I'll say really crazy things. But I think in the next 18 months, we are more focused on just being very driven around this niche that we are solving for, and just being very massively obsessed with the study abroad category and helping students who are really there in the trenches of this country and making the right counseling, making the right career advice available for them. Having them interact with something which is more credible, which is brand first, which is essentially is going to think about them versus thinking about a university or thinking about some other facet of the whole supply chain. So I think that's the core focus. In the next 5 years, maybe we will create our own city and have students immigrate there and help them kind of build amazing new careers which aren't being even spoken about right now. So the vision can be very massive and very big. Right now, very much focused on helping the current Indian student win and find more employment opportunities for themselves.
Oh, yes, indeed. Employment opportunities are just opening up. We wish you all the very best, Akshay.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you soon again.